Good morning.
And we in here and we are live. Good morning. Welcome to the Love Brew podcast.
I
I'm your host, Tommy T. My,
wonder if they could hear you singing.
I don't know. Possibly. It say it's muted. And then when it come on and be like, unmute.
Oh, okay. Because you be singing.
You don't think that song is catchy?
I didn't say it wasn't. I just said you be singing.
Hubert, you were first and we laughed about that. And good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Sharon.
Hope all is well with everyone. Today we have a lot of stuff happened this week.
I don't remember
A
half
lot.
of it.
Well, let's
First off, did you give me a list?
let me roll back the tape. Not a lot of stuff happened, but I was interested in a few things.
She said I'm up. Good morning. Good
Ah,
morning, Regina.
good morning. I didn't send you a list, but I'm sending it now. I got a few things. Random question in there. Love to hear what everybody thinks. And yeah.
Good morning, D Brown.
Good morning. Um, so the way I like to start things off is by saying hello and good morning.
We've already done that.
Did we?
Yes.
Did we? Oh, okay. Well, you can't say good morning too many times.
Okay.
I like your hair. Your hair look good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got a little unravel happening over here this
Do
morning.
you?
Yeah, because let me tell you, I retwisted my hair last night in the 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
I was under the dryer what felt like the whole 10 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
And at 11:05, I was like, if it's still wet, it's still wet. I'm going to bed. So I still had some damp spots and I just went and laid down because I was like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah. I
I'm waiting on these ends to not be so puffy.
I don't know if I don't remember you getting in the bed. I think I was asleep by the
You
time.
were asleep. I had to cut off your video.
Yeah.
You
I
and
woke
Qua
up
was
then.
both in the bed.
I woke up then. I was like, hey, what you doing? I'm watching that.
No, you didn't wake up when I cut it off.
Oh, I didn't.
Uh-uh.
I woke up and said, "Oh, it went off."
Yeah, you woke up and said how much time I had left.
You was like 30 minutes, so I get up to
I didn't
watch it.
say 30 minutes. I said like 20.
Like 20 minutes. Yeah, you were wrong.
How much was it?
It was like, man, I was 23 minutes into the episode.
Oh, I don't know.
I was like,
Okay,
oh
so I
man,
lied.
yeah,
My
you
bad.
lied. You lied. Um, yeah. So nothing. I'm trying.
Your awkward silence.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to figure out what happened this week with me that stands out that we didn't talk about. Um, I did come up with a question. I'll
Okay, go
start
ahead.
there. You know how I like music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about it. I was like, who would you rather have an album come out, like another album come out?
Mm-hmm.
And I said Jamie Foxx, The Dream, Outkast. That's where the question originally came from. It was like, who would you rather? I was listening to Big Boy and Sleepy Brown album.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I would love another Outkast album. Just I don't care if it's bad, I don't care if it's good. Just another album to see them together creating new music.
Okay, so 2-part
Yeah.
answer. Just an album.
Yeah. Dead or alive. Like
I
mean,
thought
like
you was just talking about those 3 people.
I would no, anybody.
Oh, I don't know. That's too wide of a range.
All right. So let's shorten it a little bit. Alive, but hadn't put out a like are virtually done with their music career.
Under 3,000. Just because you said Outkast.
Yeah, outside of that.
I don't know. Good morning, Danny.
Good morning, Danny.
She said, "Let me wake up Lee and ask him."
Yeah.
He gonna say somebody on the West Coast. He gonna be like Ice Cube.
That's and people that like West Coast music.
Uh-huh.
I don't like West Coast music too much.
That's something Lee and Cedric have in common.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like I'm a Southern. Like I like the bass. I need the thump in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, man. So West Coast music is not bad. Like they have some great songs, some great artists out there, but I would rather have Southern music or East Coast music.
So when you said Jamie Foxx, The Dream, or Outkast, I would say you would say Jamie Foxx, the White Album.
Yeah,
So if I was going to go and see this artist perform said new album,
yeah,
it would either be Jamie or Outkast
yeah.
because I've never seen Jamie perform live.
Right.
Jamie is actually one of the random black celebrities I've never met.
Yeah.
Um, but Jamie would be because I sent you something last night that was like Jamie wants to return to stand up. I was like, if Jamie does stand up, I must be in the building. Can
Yeah.
you dust some of that off of him?
Bro, how does this happen, man? How does this happen?
Quad has oatmeal on his neck all the way down. Well, he just lost a big chunk of oatmeal right there.
New edition. I didn't think about that.
You want me to stop?
They solid.
Turn
That's a
it
solid
off.
for a new edition.
Off. Okay, tell Dad to get it off.
What the paper towel?
Um, I would need New Edition to have like, well, I ain't gonna say New Edition. I need Bobby Brown to get his stamina up to perform because
Bobby Brown looks like Mike Epps. I was talking about that
oh,
too.
Tommy's about to say something about Mike Epps. Miss Tillman, good morning. Um, I need Bobby to get his stamina up on stage because um I'm cool with the way that the others get out there and perform. But Bobby be looking tired. Just take him up there. Yeah. He'll actually go on up there if you take him because he just walking around looking. Um Jamie Foxx returning to stand up, I would love to see. I would like to see Jamie perform um an R&B album as well. I've seen Outkast perform once, so that bucket list item has like I can check that off. But if they did a new album, I would absolutely go see that again or see them again. Um, I don't know. I don't really have a artist that I'm just like they need to do another album. I was watching Rihanna perform at this billionaire's wedding. And I was like, Rihanna hasn't put out an album in a long time. But Rihanna's not a person whose album I've ever bought. I've never had the urge to go to a Rihanna concert or anything like that. I just like find it interesting that I know the check had to be really nice because she came out of performance retirement to perform at this wedding. Smokey J said Boys to Men. I think they currently have a Las Vegas residency. Um, I don't know. Boys to Men, I like Boys to Men, don't get me wrong, but they've never been an act that I've been like, "Yep, gotta go see." I think that they've now hit the if it's an affordable old school concert,
Yeah.
I'll go see them, but I'm not gonna go out of my way
All
to
right.
go see Boys to Men.
So
Good morning, Narette, as well, and good morning, High Vibe.
let's rephrase the question.
All right, Tommy's rephrasing the question, so
So
you'll get it, D. Good morning, by the way.
so good morning, D. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, everybody. Uh so who would you rather have an album released by um from like 1990
Jodeci.
up to this point? They couldn't, like, the requirements are they couldn't have had an album from 2005, like hadn't, well, no 2000, let's go 10 years, 2014, hadn't released an album in 10 years. i,
Jodeci.
I heard Boys to Men.
Mm-hmm.
I heard who else did I hear? So does that eliminate Jamie Foxx?
Has he put out an album in 10 years?
I'm not sure. Luther.
Most of these people have projects in the last 10 years that we didn't support. Not new album in a long time. Luther.
That's a tough
Say
one,
you're gonna
man.
be
That's
in
like
love with me.
it's crazy because it's like for me, Jamie Foxx pops up in Good Morning Trend. Jamie
Good
Foxx
morning, Trent.
pops up in my head so much because um Total and 112. I didn't think anybody would say 112. I did like because when I think about 112, I think about Jagged Edge,
Mhm.
another Southern thing.
They did a one gotta go on the radio one
Yeah.
morning, and I think it was like 112, Jagged Edge, Jodeci, and Boys to Men. And I think everybody eliminated Boys to Men. Like that
I'm
was
talking
like
about
the overall thing.
Hubert. I'm talking about album, like his solo album or their
Maybe
group
put something out
album.
one in 10 years. You changed me with Chris Brown. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'll get you something in a second.
I'll bring it to her.
Um, yes, Trent. Trent, you could have texted me that. Man. Oh, mint condition. That's a solid one, man. I'm trying to stay away from rap albums because it's not really a rapper that I like. All the rappers that I really listen to is like now, or they like. I don't want them to put out new albums except Outkast.
Mm-hmm. Mint Condition would be a good one.
Mint condition would be a good one. Um, mhm.
And Jamie Foxx, Hollywood, A Story of a Dozen Roses. 2015, so
I don't
9
even.
years
Yeah,
ago.
so it eliminates Jamie Foxx.
I don't know nothing about that.
Well, we're gonna go 2017 because I want Jamie Foxx in this.
I know nothing about this
Good
album.
morning, family.
Good morning, Jack and Glenn. And look, Jackie again. So
Yeah,
I say Glenn and Jackie.
yeah, right. What else happened this week, man?
Nope. Don't know anything about this album.
I didn't even know it came out.
Didn't either. Like who
We
did the promo for this?
right. Oh, somebody said that Bobby Brown we was talking about New Edition.
Mhm.
Mike Epps' new stand-up comedy on Tony Tone Tone. It's dope.
Didn't they put out some?
I don't know if they did, but that wouldn't be bad. Mike Epps was talking about Bobby
No,
Brown.
they
He
did.
said he looked like TD Jakes.
That is so rude.
So I've seen that work, right? Watch it, got my headphones on. What happened?
Jackie said, "Why would you say good morning same time as me?"
So I'm sitting at work watching Netflix, and
The fact that you sitting at work watching Netflix.
well, I mean, I'm listening to it. I knew I had had to focus on something, so I just put a Mike Epps stand up on.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know the name of it. It's something really ready to do something.
Ready to sell out.
Yeah, ready to sell out.
I just Googled it.
This is by far the funniest Mike Epps stand up I've watched.
I don't find Mike Epps funny.
Right. I have that same sentiment. Right. He gets a couple chuckles from me, but like this one was funny.
Mm-hmm. I would never spend my money to go see him.
Nah. What they say?
TTT. I don't know who that is. Are in the studio producing.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I thought they would put out an album. Like I knew that they were doing stuff, but I thought they would put out an album.
Yeah. But anyway, this new one is funny. If you just go check it out, because I don't think Mike Epps.
Good morning, Linda. By the way,
is extremely funny. Yeah. Good morning, Linda.
Not Bishop Swallow.
This dude said Bobby Brown and TD Jakes look alike. So I was like, I can't get it out my head because they do. Like, think about it and then hold it. But no, it's a solid one, man. I liked it. Donnell Rawlins had one that I ain't really if I was to compare the two, Mike Epps was a lot funnier. Um, what else?
I don't think I've ever paid attention to a Donnell Rollins stand up.
Anyway, we talking about two things. Jamie, you told me about the Jamie Foxx stand up.
Yeah, I saw something online. I texted to you. It was a
Um,
screenshot.
I hope he does stand up, and I hope it's as good as the other stand ups that I've seen. This guy is talented.
It says Jamie Foxx is ready to return to stand up comedy following health scare. He ain't returning to nothing else.
What else? Netflix. I have issues with Netflix and this ad. Netflix,
I'm
man.
gonna tell you now, if Netflix wasn't free,
Right.
I wouldn't have Netflix
Man.
because they equipped all of our TVs 10 years ago
Yep.
with a Netflix button on the remote. You can stream straight to your TV, and then now they want to introduce ads, and you can't do any of this
Yeah.
unless you pay for the version without ads.
Right.
Why get Netflix for free? Why am I gonna create another bill?
Right. Why am I gonna do
So my Netflix viewership is non-existent at this
that?
point because I can't cast it to my TV. I don't want to watch it on my phone. That's why I bought a Chromecast.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sit at my computer and watch it. That's why I have a Chromecast.
Mm.
So I'm gonna tell you, if T-Mobile ends this partnership with Netflix and it stays the same, we won't have Netflix if it's up to me to pay for
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be a tough one because Netflix came out with Avatar: The Last of No, that ain't right.
it.
I would say Avatar: The Last Avenger. That
You
ain't
were
right at
about
all.
to say that.
That is not right at all. Um, Avatar: The Last Airbender. The.
Mm-hmm. Nope, don't know anything about it.
I
I
just
know you
like,
got excited when you
yeah,
saw it,
man. That's just like it's crazy that like it's not crazy, but that was a great cartoon
and you had to sit uncomfortably at your desk
at my desk
to watch
to
this.
watch it. I folded clothes
You did.
and
Some I would
watched
have
that
never done at my desk.
and watched that. So there you have it. Like I enjoyed that show, and I enjoyed the version Netflix came out versus the movie
Mm-hmm.
because Netflix explained the story a lot more, a lot better, and took longer. You know.
How Bob said she saw Mike Epps on tour with Charlie Murphy. He was very funny. I don't know. It's never translated
Is
to
it?
me.
Yeah, the for me the stand ups like he has funny moments, but this stand up was like like comedy is always subjective too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So what's funny to you may not be funny to me, and what's funny to me may not be funny to you. But still, this one to me made me laugh to the point where the people that was in my around me were like, "You're loud," not in a mean way, but they was like, "What are you doing?" So, um, so let's get into it, man. What you want to hit first?
Go ahead and talk about Wendy.
All right. You sure you want to talk
Yeah,
about
go
that
ahead.
first? All right. So this, I don't know if it was last weekend or the weekend before, but Lifetime put out a 4-part documentary about Wendy Williams. I don't know if you guys know, but Wendy Williams is I didn't watch the show, but she was a major TV show star.
No, not
T-
reality TV
you
show.
you
She
tell
was a
me
talk show
she was a
host.
talk show host, a radio host. Um,
That's pretty much it.
yeah, big time, right? And so she I think she fainted on TV,
Mm-hmm.
and that wasn't the last time. Like she fainted on TV, took time off.
And she came back for like another season or two.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
After that, after
Mm-hmm.
she fainted, I thought she came back for a few episodes, but in those episodes that they showed on this documentary, it showed some type of decline in cognitive functions for her.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people were talking about this documentary, Where's Wendy? And so I was like, man, let me watch this. 10 minutes into it, I was like, ah, this is sad.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel bad for a person because I think um her son was like she has alcoholic dementia.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the story, I'm trying to piece the story together. But basically, Wendy did all that stuff.
I'm giving you a time reference. She fainted October of 2017.
Yeah.
She was still on the show in 2019.
Okay.
Actually, in 2020, because she didn't have a studio audience with COVID. Her staffers had to be her studio audience
Oh,
when
okay.
she came back into the studio from COVID.
I got you.
Um, let me see. She was remote from March to May of 2020, came back in, and then she was also in the studio in September of that year. Blah, 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 blah. 2021 was the last time
All right. That she
she was on the show, and the show ended in 2022.
okay. So, man, looking at this documentary, you see something like Wendy's not right. Like
Mm-hmm.
something's not good. She went to Miami after she did the show and stuff like that. I think after she did the show, right?
When she left the show, they do a hiatus
Yeah.
in the summertime, I know, and then they do one around the holidays.
Yeah.
Not sure which one she went to Miami during,
Anyway,
but she went during one of those show hiatuses.
she went down with her family and seemingly was getting better. They made her move up to New York, like the courts in New York made her move to New York. And
Because there was erratic spending out of her bank accounts.
yeah,
Can't forget that part.
right. And so that's what caused everything to flow the way that it is. So we're like, I'm sitting there watching the documentary and I'm like, it's something wrong with her. You know, you can obviously see it, but then you look at the manager name was Will, who used to be a jeweler. You looking at his role and everything. It wasn't until the part 4 where he was like truly admitting something was wrong with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like you dealing with like it's already hard to deal with a person that's like alcoholic, because that's what the thing was. Like she kept drinking, she kept drinking, and she kept drinking. And like, why are you leaving this woman alone? I didn't. It's a few things I didn't understand about the documentary,
Mm-hmm.
or the way that they was treating her. Will, I didn't understand why. Like you're her manager, and you're not managing her.
Mm-hmm.
You're really just like, why are you here? Why does she need a manager if she's not doing anything?
They were coming up with all these things to get her excited about stuff, and it only being a letdown, like the podcast. And she kept referring to this, like them following her with cameras, as being the podcast. And I'm like, that's not a
Yeah,
podcast.
confusion.
But nobody ever stepped in to explain that this is not a
When she
podcast.
said that to her son was looking at her like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like her family would just go with it because they're like, I'm not finna fight this. I'm not finna argue
Let
this.
me tell you about Sean. I knew we shouldn't trust Sean when I saw her weave.
You chirping, man. This is that's something I never paid attention to. Sean didn't know. I didn't understand Sean's role in being with Wendy. Like, first off,
Sean was supposed to be her publicist.
right. Sean takes her to LA
Mm-hmm.
and nobody knows.
Nobody.
Like, why would you like regardless of
And then puts her in meetings.
right that nobody knows about? It's like, why are you paying these folks? Why
Mm-hmm.
and then they go to LA. She sees this girl, this lady, this Wendy, orders a drink and says nothing. And then she's like, I don't see anything wrong with I've never seen her drunk. Duh.
She's definitely saw her drunk.
Right.
She was in the house with her while she was drunk, and it was on camera. I saw it.
But if my thing is, if somebody says, if you hear somebody say, oh, they have a drinking problem,
Mm-hmm.
right? More than one person.
Mm-hmm.
And you be like, I ain't never seen this person drunk around me. But you looking at this person, you talking to this person, and you saying, hey, something's not right. Because look at what she's wearing. She looked like one of those, I don't even want to say the joke.
Mm-mm. I don't even know what you were about to say. But if you don't want to say it, don't say it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it, but she dresses like she shouldn't be dressing. You know?
Yes, it's 4 parts, Regina.
Yeah,
They aired it as two
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 nights.
days,
Yeah,
but it was 2 parts each night. But it was a 4 part special.
yeah.
Um,
Sean pissed me off.
it
First off,
was
she let her call her a dumbass,
she did.
like just straight to her face. I don't care who you are. You ain't even call me no dumbass.
And this was when she was still saying, "There's nothing wrong with Wendy."
Right.
So you're allowing yourself to be disrespected because she Wendy
And she talking
Williams.
about I got tough skin. Hold up.
Now, I was not a caregiver. However, I did have to go into clients' homes when I was working in home care that had dementia. There is a lot to deal with, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you do get the aggressive types.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you also get the really mellow types.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's just a part of for in my experience. The personality that they had when they were younger is what's coming out
Right, right.
in their older age. They just don't have the capabilities to suppress it.
Yeah.
Um, but watching this documentary, I was like, I don't understand how y'all don't see she needs help. Also, Will would come in and be like, I'd find alcohol around the house, like under the bathroom sink or in her room. And yet she keeps saying she don't have access to any money. How is she getting this
How is she getting
alcohol?
this alcohol? Yeah.
Then you came and you gave her a wad of cash saying, hey, you should probably go put this in the bank. What bank was Wendy Williams going to?
I don't know.
Why you didn't go put this money in the bank for
Yeah.
her?
Yeah. You're her manager.
That
That's
ain't managing nothing.
right. That like I just feel like he was collecting a check to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, mama.
Good morning. And thank you, by the way.
uh so it's like you're supposed to be managing this woman. This woman actually somehow leaves New York and goes to LA. You had no clue.
Mm-hmm.
The guardianship or the we ain't even talked about her or him or whoever it is, but the guardianship is not even,
Mm-hmm.
like not even coming to see the person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's like, man, these folks here that surrounding her, and then her niece comes in and refuses to do the documentary while Sean is there because she was like, I don't know her.
And I feel it. Again, I looked at Sean and I was like, I don't trust her because her leave out's not
I
blended.
don't I don't understand what she like her purpose was.
Sean was supposed to be a Hollywood publicist. You can't make me believe that that is what a Hollywood publicist that actually is making any money, has any clients looks like. And I hate to talk about people based on their looks, but she did not blend her leave out. And that bothered me
Yeah, I don't know what you talk about.
because you don't know what leave out is.
I don't.
It's the hair that you leave out.
Uh, yeah,
That was my looking at Sean. That was the first gripe I had about her.
yeah,
And I was like, and she got on TV like this because she
hmm
knew this documentary was going to be filmed somewhere.
yeah,
I mean, was going to air somewhere. Um,
right. It was.
so I automatically didn't trust Sean. Then Will, I couldn't figure out. Will couldn't explain anything about himself
Yeah,
because when they say, Will, how long have you known Wendy? Oh, it's like been a really long time. And it's like, bruh,
it was
can you
like
give me a year?
it was like right before COVID. He said or something. It was like something and then COVID.
Like it started out as a really long time.
Yeah,
And then now all of a sudden it wasn't that long ago.
yeah. It was like he took place when she got divorced. Like
Mhm.
a lot of stuff trickled at the same time.
Mhm.
You
Well,
know.
that makes sense also because her husband was her manager.
Hmm.
Well, I'm divorcing you. You don't get to manage me anymore.
Yeah,
That's what happened with Tamar and Vince.
yeah,
That's what happened with Wendy and Kelvin
yeah.
is his actual name. Um, I haven't even seen her and I'm already irritated. Yeah.
Man, just
It's
like
if you decide to watch it, it's definitely a hard watch.
yeah,
Um,
and and it like yeah, the DJ warned her.
DJ Booth,
That's who the show DJ was,
mhm,
right?
DJ Booth was with her for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell that he genuinely cared about Wendy,
Yeah,
because even like when everything shut down in 2020 and she would talk about him on the show before he left the show, um she would always talk about how he would come over and get her something to eat,
mm-hmm.
and he do this and do that because she didn't have the people around her due to COVID.
Yeah,
And he was essentially a safe person.
yeah.
Like, we work together. I know where he's
She trusted
been.
him.
Yeah, I trust him. And it's like something happened. I don't know what happened. Allegedly, it's been said, just not on this documentary, how he found her once.
Yeah,
And he was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm out.
yeah.
Because if these are the people that you're going to have around you, this isn't going to work with me trying to also help you. Deshauna said everything happening with Wendy is sad. Addiction ravaging her brain and life, and people taking advantage of her. I wouldn't wish this on anyone.
Nah,
It's so sad. Like,
nah. I definitely wouldn't wish this on anybody. It's like watching it. You're like my whole thing or thought process throughout the whole. What kept me watching it was how long does this go on? There's
mhm,
no way that these people are so oblivious to people with problems that they just like can go with this.
mhm. And then
But when the girl said I ain't never seen her drunk when they was in LA.
yes, high vibe. That's what it
What
was.
she
He
said?
found her unresponsive.
Yeah, yeah. When the girl said she was in LA and she ain't never seen her drunk, I was like, y'all need to get this girl off this show, off this thing. And I don't think they brought her back after that.
Mm-mm.
Um I don't think she said another word after that LA trip. Because I was like, this is wild.
So I just Googled it, and they said that he found her unresponsive in 2020, and he called her ex-husband because he had been around the
Yeah,
whole time. And they ended up calling an ambulance, and she ended up having to have several blood
yeah,
transfusions.
yeah. That's
Um
a lot for anybody.
it's just it's so much. What your mom say? It is very sad to know that you see someone with a problem and don't help. She definitely has a problem. I don't understand this judge giving guardianship to someone who don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I didn't understand why, like, how hard is it to get this woman help? Because Will kept saying, well, we can get her help now and stuff like this, and she needs to get some help and stuff. And I'm like, well, how hard is it?
When she was still on the show, they had put her in a sober house. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because she came on the show and made an
And
announcement
talked about it.
about being in a sober house. And that was around the time that she was divorcing
Yeah,
her
yeah,
husband. And it feels like Will became an opportunist
yeah.
for this money because he could get access to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still confused how at the end of the documentary her apartment was empty.
Like, who did that?
Right.
Who set that up? Um, I'm curious to know how much money they were just watching for her.
I don't know. Cause she kept saying, I don't have any money. I don't have any money. I don't have any money. But she does have money. She just doesn't have unlimited access to the money,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And the judge assigned a guardian over them. And there's like some stuff going on right now with the judge and the guardian, who are both in lawsuits.
yeah. That's
Um,
what you was saying.
the judge appointed a guardian, and the guardian that she appointed was someone that had donated to her campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that she was just going out giving guardianships to basically high donors.
Yeah.
And then also,
People basically getting a kickback for supporting her.
mm-hmm, you give me some money, I'm gonna give you some money.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm trying to find it.
You know something, the one thing I did appreciate though about the documentary was the story it told about the family support of
Mm-hmm.
her. Because her son, like I like when they was at the dinner with her dad, her brother,
Mm-hmm.
and her son and her nephew,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Who ordered this?" You know, and she didn't. You know how like if somebody say something about her drinking,
Mm-hmm.
she would snap on them.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as her nephew said something,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't say one word, and I was like, "Oh, thank you." Somebody like that's a thing of, oh, Will should have paid attention to that
Mm-hmm.
and been like, we need to get her to them
Mm-hmm.
because she listens to them.
Get them to come in on a rotating basis.
Something. Pay to get them to come up to see her to just kind of
Mm-hmm.
help out a little bit because for him to like I think they're 22 years old or something like that, early 20s, to
Mm-hmm.
be able to say, hey, no, we'll take those, get her a Coke.
Mm-hmm. No, send those back.
But I'm talking about what he said.
Yeah.
And she respected that.
Mm-hmm.
And man, your heart goes out to the family because it's like, okay, the whatever her son was spending on like on rent was ridiculous. A lot
It was
of
like 80,000 a year because he was living in a $2 million penthouse.
yeah, like let's get this, let's clear this part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the way that they were spending money was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And
But
even more ridiculous when there's no income coming in.
yeah, when you say Uber Eats is over $100,000, like, bro, you need to learn how to cook.
Somebody did the math and was like, "That's $270 a day."
Like, you gotta learn how to cook. And he vegan. Like, man, it's like, okay, that type of spending, yes, that's gonna be alarming,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody should be like, hey, we need to do something. But the care of her,
Mm-hmm.
like, she seemed to be doing great down there with them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it comes back to New York, they talked about her being lonely a lot and stuff like that. Like, yeah, she's by herself essentially. Like,
But she talked about that a lot on the show too. She, the way that she reported things, made a
hmm
lot of enemies, right?
yeah,
So she didn't have a very close knit circle. She had a friend. Her friend was in the documentary. That's the only friend she ever talked about having.
yeah, and she lived in California.
Right. She had her husband. They stripped her son. Her son was her power of attorney, and they stripped him of his POA.
Yeah, I don't know why.
The spending,
Yeah,
because they were saying that the
that spending
spending,
that spending was ridiculous. Like, I agree with the whole thing on the spending part.
but
That was
she had
crazy.
been spending that money on him
Yeah.
since he moved to Miami.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he moved to Miami for college.
Mm.
So she was paying his college tuition. She was paying for somewhere for him to live.
Hmm.
So
I don't understand why not buy.
I don't understand either.
I'd have just bought a house here, live here.
Even if you didn't want to get him a house, because a house is a lot of responsibility,
I'd have
right?
just bought a condo.
That's what I'm saying. Like buying a unit in that building, if it's a $2 million rental, you absolutely can get it.
Yeah,
You can absolutely buy something in that building.
yeah.
Like it just doesn't make sense. There's so much of this that doesn't make sense. And you mean to tell me there's not one family member, the sister, her niece,
Yeah.
that could have you be like, okay, we're gonna take it away from her son, but
Or we gonna share it with her son. We
something.
like we gonna do something like because the thing is her son took care of her.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is like financially that may not be his strong point, and that's okay. He's 20 some years old.
But it also makes sense to not finances to not be your strong point. Number one, at that age.
Yeah,
Number two, because money has always flowed.
yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, man, shit, we still learning how to deal with finances, man.
Right. But for him, it's
Mm-hmm.
always been there.
Yeah.
My mother has always had money. So if my mother has always had money, why should I think that the money is going to stop?
Yeah. And the way that this documentary painted people in it, it was like New York people were bad and the Miami people were good.
Good morning, Tawana. We're talking about Wendy Williams.
Um,
Her documentary, Where's Wendy?
yeah. But yeah, it was a very eye opening if you were a fan of Wendy Williams or just like watched anything. Like it's hard to be like, I don't know who Wendy Williams is
Mm-hmm.
for anybody. So I mean, like she's a icon, a legend,
Mm-hmm.
definitely in society. And you know, you hate to see things like this for people, and then you're looking at the family, and you hate to see that.
Oh yeah, Wendy's ex-husband definitely spent the money like water because he's in financial trouble now.
Yeah,
Like he he had to he's had to move out of the neighborhood that he was in because he couldn't pay the HOA fees.
which is ridiculous to me.
Wild to me.
I would have been out there cutting grass. I'd have been selling water. I'd have made me a lemonade stand and employed the child.
But he thought that, and he had one
Go ahead.
on
Look,
Wendy.
look, we're gonna make this lemonade. It's gonna be good. Go out there and sell it. I'd have did something to pay the HO. If that's all I gotta pay, all right, cool.
Cause
That and the taxes.
he had bought the baby mama a house like 6 miles away from Wendy's house.
Yeah.
Or his house with Wendy. Um he had to sell that house, of course, in the divorce. Him and her moved to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
He bought a house down there. He was buying or leasing all these expensive exotic cars. And then when Wendy's show stopped, the money stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I I don't feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense that now apparently the money done dried up. The baby mama done left too.
Yeah.
Like now, don't you feel dumb?
The only thing that came to my mind was Chris Brown's song, "Be a lawyer."
I was thinking about can't gamble, feeding baby on that dope money, on that Wendy Williams money. It might not always
It'd
be
be
sufficient.
The post
um,
office won't call you back because you got
New Jersey
cloudy
property
piss.
taxes are high. Oh no, that wasn't even in New Jersey. This was in Miami. You know their property taxes are high, and you got to have this expensive insurance because of
Hurricanes.
hurricanes and other acts of God.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, man. Overall, man, the documentary, like from a video perspective, was a great documentary. It was put together very well. It told the story that it was trying to tell. The
Mhm.
story was just so sad.
I am happy that the family got to tell their side of the story.
Yeah.
The guardianship is supposed to be reevaluated this year. I'm hoping that Sabrina, that's the guardian, is removed.
Yeah.
Um, I do hope that the family, her sister, somebody in the family, I don't
Somebody in
know
the
who
family.
in the family would be the best choice, but
Somebody.
there has to be somebody in the family.
Somebody that don't stand to benefit,
Right.
like monetarily.
Hmm. Even her friend in California, because her friend said she came and stayed with her for a month. This wasn't, I don't think this was in the documentary. I think I saw it somewhere else. But she came and stayed with Wendy for a month. And she said during that month's time, Wendy would call to try to get breakfast paid for by the guardian at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And the lady wouldn't send the money until like noon.
Really. And that's yeah.
So she was like, I started sending deliveries to Wendy's house to make sure that she ate.
Yeah.
And that was out of her own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And she has nothing to gain from that
Yeah.
outside of helping her friend. And that's been her friend. Like, that's been Wendy's one constant outside of her family
Mm-hmm.
since she was a child.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I get that, man. It's just hard to see that, you
Yeah.
know, because you don't want to see people mistreat, even you know, people you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of want to leave them alone, but you don't want nobody mistreated.
Right. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I know there's some stuff that we have to be missing, but
Yeah, definitely.
what was presented is very, very sad.
Yeah.
And you hope that there's some type of resolve that happens with the court of public opinion and the actual court.
Hmm. Anything else about that?
No, we can go move on.
Oh, before we move on, I want to end Black History Month because I did a terrible job this year, guys, of my black facts. I have a whole list of black facts. I just couldn't sit down and record the videos,
You should
but
do a 10-minute TikTok and
yeah,
just read them all
I
off.
just read them all. Black History facts for the month of February and the rest of the year. But it's Women History Month, and I want to celebrate that.
Yeah, I said I was gonna do some facts. That's why I was doing my hair at 11 o'clock at night,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I never recorded it.
I don't know anything about women's history,
I have a whole document.
but there's that. Moving right along, we're gonna talk about this Cam Newton fight
Okay.
because it's crazy. It's wild how big Cam Newton is compared to us regular sized human beings. Because the way he looked in that video, man, this dude looked like
And the hat never moved.
the hat never moved, never fell off or anything like that. But people thought he was fighting kids. Did you see the video?
Uh-huh.
Man, he holding one. These are grown men that he's fighting.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably my height.
Mm-hmm. Never say they're not how tall is Cam? 6'4"?
6'5".
6'5". They're not 6'5" former professional football players.
Like and Cam is still in shape to play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's first off, you're alarmed.
Mm-hmm.
Why are these little people trying to fight this big man?
And Cam, I met Cam, has a tall presence,
Yeah,
right?
like me.
Like
Like I walk in the room gets warm. Tall
I'm
presence.
not doing this with you
I'm
today.
just saying.
So
I might be small in stature, but I have a big heart.
okay.
You know.
So when Cam walked in
Yeah.
to the building, like I didn't know who he was at that time.
Yeah.
And he walked in and I was like, wow. And I'm not a person that gets like easily like, oh my God, you're so tall.
Yeah.
Because my dad is 6'6".
Yeah.
My stepdad is 6'5". My granddad is 6'5". Like I'm around tall
Yeah.
men, right?
Yeah.
So when I met Cam, I was just like, wow, he has a like larger than life presence
Right.
in
Right.
general.
Yeah.
And this was before I'm happy Danny said something.
All I'm saying is like, dog, like, you know, that's all I got to say is like
you know.
it's there. Like I walk in the room, like, yeah, okay. 5'6", but I feel 6'5". All of it. You know, I walk in the room, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you gotta feel that way. And I guess them little guys felt that way too compared to him.
Yeah. And again, Hubert said he's met Cam in person. Like,
yeah.
Hubert's not short.
Nah.
And Cam just has a large presence.
Right. That's it. That's it. But the crazy part is, right? Because I'm gonna go through a couple things within this fight because I've thought about this.
Okay.
The crazy so I listened to the responses to everybody. So basically the fight started was from them talking junk to each other.
The response starts out as sorry to the coaches.
Right, right. Sorry to the coaches, the kids. That ain't what we trying to play. That ain't what we trying to do. Anything.
Right.
I give people space so I don't have to look up.
Like the only person that I've ever been wowed by their
You
height.
don't get that, do you?
I do. There's two people I've been wowed by their height, and I have to check and see how tall one of them is.
Me?
Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah.
And Shaq.
Yeah.
When Shaq walked in, I was like, "You are really 7 feet tall." He just started laughing.
Yeah.
That's all he could do.
I mean, like they're giants.
Well, let me see how tall Dominique is.
He up there too.
I know.
The funny part is, or the really funny part, I hope you guys chuckle the way I'm chuckling on the inside. 6'2" is really tall to me.
Dominique is 6'8", so yeah.
If I see somebody 6'2", 6'3", I'm like, damn, they tall.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if I seen a 7'4" person in person.
Right.
Anyway, no, so they got they trash talking each other. They used to work together under Cam's umbrella of 7-on-7 camps, because that's where they were at a 7-on-7. And they trash talking each other now. Cam say it's his thing. The guy say, I don't know, it's like TPS or TPC or something like that. They say their thing, and I don't know what led to fighting. Right? I don't know what led to, I'm about to hit this dude.
Wasn't a good idea.
But the thought process, my thought process in I'm about to hit this dude would have been completely different from hitting him. I'm looking at him like, how can I get this guy? I'm gonna have to shoot this guy.
She said for me it was Big Sexy Kevin Nash.
That's his name though. But
he's
like
16. I had to look and see how
who is
tall
that?
he was, Kevin Nash.
Yeah. But nah, man, looking at the whole thing, you have to go through your head and say, okay, what he said offended me so bad, I'm gonna have to fire on him. But then you gotta be real with yourself and like, this is a losing battle.
That's not smart.
How do I get him? I can't hit him in the face because I can't reach him.
That's why it was more than one of them.
Right, because the other guy, it was like three of them. The other guy was like, this the sad part. The other guy was like, you ain't finna just grab it, like fight my brother, and he's oversized. So we gonna gang you.
Right.
I'd have been like, hey, no, come on, bro, this is stupid. This is a losing battle. Like, either we're gonna have to hurt him really bad by hitting him with something to make the fight fair.
And you can't do that at a kids event.
You're not supposed to be fighting.
Exactly.
And so Cam took ownership, and I can appreciate his response to it. He took ownership of the part that he played, because he was like, he apologized. It shouldn't have went down like that. He should have been more mature to like prevent the fight from happening, because it's already an unfair fight. He should have, walked away or something like that, just because if three dads got the fighting out there, right? That's one thing. But it's Cam Newton. And it's like Cam Newton is a like, a lot of people come to his camps. A lot of people support him because of these camps and stuff like that. And it's like, man, you see it and it goes viral. Like, we're sitting here talking about it now. We're not talking about this if it's not Cam Newton.
Right.
And how funny it looks, because he basically grabbed one, threw another one, and had one on his leg. I'm exaggerating that last part, but that's the way it looked like in the video.
He was like, get away from me.
Holding a grown man.
Get away from me.
You hold still right quick. I'm gonna throw you over here. You on my leg, I'm gonna grab you too. Like, man, like, who what type of person is strong enough to do that? A grown man now.
Y'all just shouldn't have been there.
That definitely shouldn't have happened. It's funny.
We haven't entered our crap talking parents level of sports yet.
Yeah, and I hope my kids are like the greatest thing to sports.
We're still at the we clap for everybody portion of sports. Like, Lily's not even actually playing like in a game as of yet. But we're still at the we gotta clap for everybody situation. And you want that to last as long as it can for kids.
You just want great sportsmanship. But kids are a-holes.
They are.
And apparently these adults were a-holes too.
And mine don't have it in her to be that.
That ain't how I played.
No, I'm just saying, like, Lily doesn't have the aggressive gene.
Yeah. Nah, she's not aggressive at all.
He just be taking the ball from her, and she'd be like, "Okay, I'll go get another one."
I'm gonna go get another one. Can't take all of them from me.
Right.
But half the time, I don't think Lily be paying attention either. But no, like it was just it was a dumb thing to happen in front of the people that it happened in front of. I'm talking about this Cam Newton fight,
Mm-hmm.
and you can appreciate the responses, but yeah, stuff like that shouldn't happen.
Right.
First off, you look at him and be like, "Nah, I ain't trying to do that."
Mm-mm.
And Cam brought up a good point too. He was like, "It shouldn't have happened because somebody could have died.
That's
Somebody."
a bit dramatic.
No, he was like somebody like because you look at the size difference. The first thing I'm thinking is if I'm finna fight him, I gotta even out the fight somehow.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, I'm gonna throw something at him. I'm gonna hit him with something. I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna do something to
You
even
shouldn't
this
have a
fight out.
gun at the kids event.
Man, I ain't seen somebody at a gas station. They pants are falling because their gun
No, I'm
is
not saying that didn't
like
happen. I'm
people
just
have
saying you
guns.
shouldn't.
Uh, Man, I tell you about the time a friend of mine he was worked for Brinks
Mm-mm.
and he had to draw down on somebody because uh they were playing with their gun around him.
Oh, well, I mean, I get it. You driving for Brinks. That's a job I would never want.
Um, but it's like you hear about stuff. People have guns everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, especially like here because the only thing you gotta do is buy a license. You don't gotta
Mm-hmm.
go through nobody training or nothing. So it's just a wild situation. Luckily, though, like only thing got hurt is some pride,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's it. What else we got, man?
You put about Jam Master Jay.
Oh, I don't know much about what happened with that.
His
I just
killers
know it
got
happened.
convicted. One of them was his godson, and I can't remember who the
That
other
was
one
an
was.
unsolved mystery, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
Until
they,
now.
yeah. So, they were found guilty. He got killed in 2002,
Yeah.
and they said that it was revenge for a failed drug deal. I'm guessing they were cut out of this drug deal,
Mm-hmm.
and they went back and killed him. Crazy to me that that happened in the early 2000s, and it's 2024.
Right.
Like it's over 20 years, and they're just now.
Finding the like
Hmm.
convicting the people. That's wild. That's a wild situation. When he died, I was like, dang, that's
They
a
said that there were witnesses that were terrified to speak up
yeah. w-
because if they killed him,
They'll kill
what they
him.
gonna do to me?
Yeah. I thought it was more embarrassing that he was just on a drug deal. This is a famous uh guy in a rap group. That was like one of my first instances where you're like you shouldn't be doing that in my mindset. Like
Um.
I remember. Well, I don't remember when you were putting out music, but I know who you are,
Mhm.
and you're a big pillar in hip hop.
Mhm.
And this is and you was killed when it came out. I was like, you was killed over drugs,
Mhm.
you know. But you don't judge people, but that was just so unexpected to me,
Mhm.
and it's sad. It's sad to hear about it. It's extremely sad that was family basically,
Mhm.
because of money, you know. Treat people right when it comes to money, man. Just like give them what they owed.
But also, don't do drug deals.
I mean, like if you're a drug dealer, you have to do drug deals to make money.
Okay, don't be a drug dealer.
That's probably a better statement. But then they have legal drugs.
Well, I wouldn't call that a drug dealer. I would call it a pharmacist.
There you go. Become a pharmacist. if that is your thing, become a pharmacist and figure it out.
Apparently, he was supposed to acquire 10 kilos of cocaine and sell it through one of the guys. And he had a lot of debt,
Yeah,
and that's how he was trying
trying to
to
get
get
out
out
of
of
the
the
debt.
debt. Was being basically a cocaine middleman.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, a lot of people do it. Remember the TV show that you finished without me, Weeds?
Yeah,
It wasn't debt,
yeah,
but she was trying to maintain her suburban lifestyle.
yeah. That's crazy. Last thing I want to talk about is this Diddy thing. You know more about the case. I just found it interesting
I
that
don't
Diddy,
really know a lot about the case.
like it's another case on a producer basically said that Diddy tried to either he said he sexually assaulted him or tried to.
Um,
Which one was it?
he was accused of sexual assault.
Yeah. And a lot of other people are mentioned in it.
Mm-hmm.
And what really caught my eye with it was Meek Mill's response to it.
What was Meek Mill's
Meek
response? I
Mill,
never saw it.
like I literally saw like Meek Mills was like, "That ain't me," because I think what it is in the case is he had sex or did something with a person who used to date Nicki Minaj that's from Philly. Well, Meek Mill fits all those categories.
Mm-hmm. So what was his response?
His response was, "That ain't me. Y'all trying to say this while I'm finna drop a EP," which he dropped the EP yesterday. A day before, and this came out on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
A day before I dropped my EP, and basically he's saying that people are trying to sabotage him,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But he denied it. But then, like you look on the internet, you type in Meek Mill, you'll see a bunch of, and I don't think he did anything, in my opinion.
I don't know.
But I personally don't know. But you see a bunch of pictures of where it may be questioned, you know, like is Meek Mill, that way. So which it don't really matter, but you just don't like the bad part with Diddy is like you're forcing people.
Mm-hmm. With drugs. Back to drugs.
Is it either it's with drugs or with the power that you feel like you have,
Mm-hmm.
certain things. Like this dude mentioned him Diddy trying to get, I don't know what Diddy was trying to do in this whole thing, but he was like he was showed him a video of Stevie J, which you told me it wasn't Stevie J. Or
That's what there was a guy that came out and said the steals that were posted or that
yeah,
were shown weren't Stevie J, it was him.
yeah, that Diddy was having sex with this guy
Mm-hmm.
who I guess looked like Stevie J.
The guy didn't look like
He
Stevie
said
J.
Cuba Gooding Jr. was mentioned in the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
He said Diddy groped and touched his anus. I was like, and you was in this house for a year. He also says he didn't get paid
yeah, that was
for
the
the
big thing.
production on
This
this most
love
recent,
album.
yeah, this most recent album. Um,
I don't know what to think.
they named Carisha.
Yeah, I think she gets paid to be like there.
Duh.
I like her, but
Um, she's not with Diddy because he's fun.
yeah,
It's because there's money attached to the
yeah,
fun.
yeah. It's just it's hard to see or it's hard to hear about because you can't believe everything you hear, but you have to like it's some validity to the story. It has to be
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks to be because he didn't get paid. I have more stuff to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that kind of stands strong with his story. I'm like, man, Diddy, you got to fight if this is some of the stuff that you're doing. The fact that Diddy got on live TV and made people walk, I don't know how far it was, but they
Brook,
had to walk a bridge to
Brooklyn
get
ain't
him some
close.
cheesecake. And they did it. Like, I can't say that, Diddy ain't never just threw his power around,
Mm-hmm.
you know. He had grown people living in a mansion, rap battling for a spot in a group that didn't like
That don't even exist no more.
yeah. Like these people could have probably had great single like solo careers
Mm-hmm.
and they put out that one album with a mosh pit of people that did different things.
Which group are you talking about?
I'm talking about the first one.
The band,
Yeah.
because he had the band.
And then Day
Danny
26.
Kane
Danny Kane.
and Day 26.
So Danny Kane had a TV show too?
I don't remember. Maybe.
I know Day 26 had a competition show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the album wasn't bad.
Never listened to it.
You didn't?
Met them, cussed out their security. But
You had Chopper on there.
CHOP.
Then you had another guy that's like,
PER. Yeah, they were on Making the Band 3.
what's the guy like on Pretty Ricky?
Spectacular?
Which like he was the rapper on Pretty Ricky.
Oh, I don't know.
Um,
Probably.
but they reminded me of each other. You had this beautiful girl who could sing, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was a couple girls that could sing. Then you had I think Ness. Ness might have been on the Dylan was on there. All these like this compounded group of people that made a group, and like that wasn't gonna work.
I'm looking through this, and apparently there was a Making the Band that was O Town. That was on ABC.
I don't know what Old Town was.
White band.
Oh,
Then there was Making the Band 2, which was The Band, and they did 3 seasons of The Band.
oh yeah.
Then Making the Band 3 was Danny Kane, and they did 3 seasons. And then Making the Band 4 was Day 26 and Donnie Klang. He got a solo contract, but Day 26 was the group.
Yeah.
And they did 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Then he tried to do a spinoff, Making His Band, but that never happened. Old Town, Lou Pearlman did that one, not Diddy. Yeah. I'm just saying under the Making the Band title. Because apparently, I think it's the same producers went from the Making the Band that was on ABC to Making the Band on MTV.
Yeah. This is the idea.
I am randomly on an episode of Making the Band.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
In Times Square, the camera panned to us in the crowd who had no idea.
Yeah.
That.
So Diddy owe you some money too?
This was going on. No. So I stayed in the same hotel as the bands because it was the season that Day 26 was on there, and they were doing their season finale, and it was live. And we were in Times Square, literally, because our hotel was also in Times Square, and we were walking past, and when they panned to the crowd, we were just standing outside.
Yeah.
And like somebody called one of my friends who was standing there with us and was like, "Y'all on TV?"
No, I ain't.
And we was like, "Doing what?" Like, we just standing outside, and come to find out,
y'all was on
the
TV.
Camera pan past us.
I don't know, man. I say all that to say, man, Diddy got some stuff to. Diddy, you got some explaining to do.
He gonna have some money to pay too.
Yeah, he gonna pay a lot of money. To get this to go.
Definitely give this man his money for producing this album.
Yeah.
Because didn't this album get Grammy nominations?
I don't know. I ain't never listened to the album.
I didn't either.
But I'm also not a person like voting on the Grammys either. So
I don't really.
That's all I got for this week, man.
Yeah, we're over time anyways.
Yeah, the kids been quiet. They've been yelling at each other. So
yeah.
There's that.
Let's get out here and go build something today.
Yeah, that should be fun. Try to get some wood so we can build these beds.
Let's build something. We need to find somebody with a pickup truck.
That too. But yeah, guys, well, we appreciate you guys, man, for kicking it with us on this Love Brew podcast. Go check out some of the older podcast episodes. Okay. We got the Women's History Month facts probably come out this month sometime point in time.
This weekend, I'm gonna get the first few up.
Go back and look at the Black History Month facts, and then comment, man, you should put more facts out.
Just comment in all caps. What happened?
Right, that's it. That's it. Hold me accountable, man, because I dropped the ball on that one. Go out and enjoy the weekend. Is right around the corner. We got to get back to it. And yeah, man, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we are out. Peace.
Bye, y'all.